Hey everyone, I'm the Beard with Bearded Bird Productions, and this is my first thoughts and review of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 1. Now, there are spoilers ahead. You have been warned. Now, I first wanted to give a shout out to the MCU for adding in all the connections you don't think of, and then are like, yeah, that makes sense. Like seeing Rhodey front and center as Sam gives his "We are not worthy" speech, all the way to bringing back Batroc the Leaper from Captain America Winter Soldier, and even setting the stage for Sam's successor in Joaquin Torres. Now, our friends at Marvel have stated that they do love a good misdirect, so who knows where Torres' path will lead? We'll just have to wait and see. Jumping right into Episode 1, I must say that this is an extremely solid pilot. It does what all pilots are supposed to do: introduce the characters, introduce the conflict, and leave the viewers with wanting more. It really sets the groundwork in an incredible way. First off, we establish where our compatriots of Bucky and Sam have been since Endgame, but even more so the blip. Now, the Disney Plus shows have been doing an adept job about showing us how the world and different people have really adjusted to the effects of people returning from the blip. Yes, we did first see this in Far From Home, but it was more of a glazed over punchline. We are now dealing with the more tangible, heartstring pulling emotions. So, what are our friends up to these days? Now let's look at Sam first. He is currently working with the military and being supplemented by government contracts. This is a small piece of what we see in the beginning, and I believe it's really just mostly to tie in Torres and the Flag Smashers, which I will get to later. But the biggest piece of knowing where Sam is mentally is looking at the weight that he carries with the shield, or in his opinion, Steve's shield. He feels as though it's not his nor really anyone's to hold, as it is a symbol for another time, and Steve was the only one worthy enough. He honors and secures that legacy by donating the shield to the Captain America Museum, and then immediately goes home to talk to his sister and prepares to fight tooth and nail to secure his family's legacy. Now, my thoughts here: he feels like he can't honor Steve's legacy because he didn't protect his own families. He'll eventually get forgiven or forgive himself and move on to steal the shield back from U.S. agent John Walker, as we have seen him in the trailers practicing in the woods. Maybe that's Louisiana? But I do think that this whole arc will be about forgiving himself and stepping up to be someone, nay, something, like a symbol for people to believe in. Speaking of forgiveness, Bucky. If you think that you have baggage, this poor guy is having nightmares of people he killed while he was being mind-controlled by an evil organization for 90 years. But at least he's going to therapy, right? I do love that as part of his pardon, we do see Bucky in therapy as he tries to assimilate into somewhat of a normal life. Part of this therapy seems to be making amends and cleaning that red from his ledger, as we mentioned before. We also see a bit of a throwback when Bucky wakes up from sleeping on the ground to Sam's comment in Winter Soldier. I'm interested to see what kind of trigger will really get Bucky to be working with Sam. Maybe something with his new girlfriend? Either way, the groundwork is there. The therapist already called Sam out by name and established that he really needs to get some new friends. Either way, something's going to happen. We'll see our team up and let the buddy cop action show commence. Now, we have talked heroes, but who are they up against? I love how Marvel systematically makes the government look like a bunch of asshats, whether they are secretly Hydra or just jerks that are trying to recreate the next Captain America. The government in the MCU seems to always be looking for ways to exploit power and use it for their own gain. Now, this line has been beautifully paired up with a group of anarchists known as the Flag Smashers. In the comics, the Flag Smasher was a single individual with a common goal and bumped heads with Captain America quite frequently. I like this pairing a lot, and I'm waiting for the ill-fated "maybe the bad guys are right" speech. We are already rooting against the government because John Walker should not have Cap's shield, so when the Flag Smasher's trying to take him down, who do you stand with? Overall, this was everything I wanted and more for the first episode. Following WandaVision, which was uniquely beautiful in its own right, Falcon and the Winter Soldier creates an incredible, full-feeling first episode with movie-like effects and cinematography, the acting of course spot on, and the end leaving everyone wanting more. Please leave your thoughts and comments below, and tune in next week as we look at how the story and my thoughts progress through episode 2.